Gracie, I told you this before we started recording, but I just wanted to remind you I'm a student and I'm going to try so hard not to mess this up.
Yes.
My first question is, what is the biggest challenge you've overcome?
The biggest challenge I overcome is biggest challenge I overcome. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I apologize if, adjusting my attitude towards individuals. Meaning, when we young, we don't know any better, but when we get older, we realize that we have values and things that we need to do,
Can you give me an example of a learning experience you had?
A learning experience. An example. I have a lot of learning experiences.
Yeah, but when it comes to changing your attitude towards others.
For instance, respect. Respect goes a long way. Can I tell you an example of respect?
Sure, yes.
For instance, I was going to get my license. First time going to get well, not first time, but going to get my license. Excited, nervous and whatnot. One of the person that was giving me my test, I made a mistake, hit a curve a little bit. It wasn't a big mistake, but I'm nervous like, this is my first time. I'm not going to get my license because of this little, mistake. You know what she told me? She said, your last name is Sullivan. She said, I know your brother. She said, he is very respectful and you very respectful. Here you go. Go over there and get your license. So that's what I mean. Respect goes a long way. Speak to people. Hey, how you doing?
What are you most passionate about?
What am I most passionate about? I'm most passionate about being kind. That's what I'm most passionate about. And people feelings. You never know what people is going through. People have a lot of issues, a lot of mental health issues, things that going on in their community, in their life. You never know what people is going through. So therefore, I have to be compassionate and listen to people. Hey, how you doing? And listen to people feeling.
Were you always so kind?
Me personally, I have been kind, yes, but I've been young too, but I have grown up since then. But I always been kind, yes.
Do you think people are as kind to you as you are to them?
Sometimes. Sometimes, like I said, you never know what people are going through, so you still have to treat them with respect and kindness.
Can you give me an example of the time someone wasn't that kind to you?
Say for instance, it's been a while, I can honestly say that. But an example is, for instance, when I was working at my last job, for instance, I was asking a person a question and they just blatantly just stared at me like, what are you talking about? Like I was, I felt like I was dumb, stupid, things of that nature, like what did I do to you? It just was rude. The way they just stared at me and didn't say anything. But it don't happen too often, I can honestly say that. And that's a good thing.
What was the happiest moment of your life?
The happiest moment of my life? When I had my first child, that was one of the happiest moments of my life. It was happy and sad in a sense. I had my daughter on 9/11.
Oh my goodness.
And like 9:03 that morning.
Oh my goodness.
And it was like a storm was coming, but the storm didn't come, but the storm did come. but it was a happy, joy moment.
Can you tell me about that day?
That day, I was going into labor around 3 o'clock in the morning. That's when my water broke, 3 o'clock in the morning. So I asked my mom, like, Mom, bless her heart, she gone down. Like, Mom, you know, call the ambulance. You know, so the ambulance wasn't coming in time. So she was like, come on, put on your shoes, let's, you know, I'll take you. All right. So when we was going outside, like I was saying, it was like a storm, you know, it was dark, you know, but it was like tropical, feeling good, wind was blowing, like something is brewing in the air. I don't know what is brewing, but something is brewing in the air. So while I was in labor that morning, the nurses was looking at the television, the doctor, and they was like, oh my God, you know, someone hit the, you know, World Trade Center, the buildings. So I'm in labor, I'm in labor, and I'm looking like, wow, I'm getting ready to have this child, you know, what is going on, you know, and I was like, oh. So that's what happened, but the storm, it came, but it didn't come, and I'm grateful, but I'm sad too, but all those babies was going up to heaven, you know, dying, and my baby was coming into this world. So she is to me, she is a special child. She is.
What's her name?
Her name is Honesty Garland. Like, honesty is the best policy. That's her name.
I can't even imagine what that must have been like. That's supposed to be the best day of your life.
Yes. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry too. I'm just thinking of the next follow-up.
Okay.
So was that the saddest moment of your life as well?
The saddest moment of my life was when my mother passed. That was the saddest. That was a hurt that I have never felt before. In 12 years, I still feel that ache in my heart. But I think of the goodness, the good deeds that she done, the wisdom that she gave me, the things that she taught me in order to, you know, to live my life to the fullest, you know.
I want to go back to 9/11.
Yes.
So what was going through your head after you had your child?
After I had my child, it was wild. It was very chaotic. Like, the internet was cut off, the TVs was cut off, the hospitals, they was, you know, not locked down, but they had security. You know, that was a crazy day, and it was still dark. It didn't never storm, like, you know, rain, thunderstorm, but the clouds was still dark all over. You can feel it in the air.
Were you scared?
Yes, I was scared. Yes, because I didn't know what was going on. All those people passed away, and not only it was in New York, it was, you know, in Washington D.C., Virginia. You know, it was close to home. We in North Carolina. You know, so I was very scared. Yes.
Was it hard to imagine bringing a child into that world where there could be such evil?
It's very hard, and I think about it now, to this day, you know, with things that's going on now with the schools, people, you know, random people just pulling out guns and shooting innocent folks. You can't even go into the worship in the church without thinking, you know, hey, is anything gonna happen? You know. But I'm glad I work at a safe place where I don't have to worry about that. You know, everything is set in place, in order. You know, I feel secure. Excuse me.
Every year on your daughter's birthday, do you have mixed feelings?
Every year on my daughter's birthday, I don't have mixed feelings, but I always tell her the story. The story that I'm telling you every single year I tell her the story. And even though she understand what's going on, she'll say, Mama, I know you told me, Mama, you know, but I just want her to know what's going on and what went on in the world, all those, you know, it was just sad, all those people died, you know, and she was coming here, you know. I was supposed to be happy, I'm happy, but this right here happened on the other side, on the other end. And I also look up the children, some of the children, you know, how the children, you know, I know they read in the newspaper of how the children, when they was born on that day, you know, what they become, and, you know, they what, 21 now, so.
Yeah, they're adults.
Yes.
So what else do you tell your daughter about that day that you haven't told her?
I just tell her to be thankful. I tell her, do you remember the history of it? That's about all.
Can you give me the exact spelling of your name?
Yes. It's Gracie Sullivan. Sullivaa.
Is there something I should have asked you that I didn't?
Let's see, let me see here. No, I don't think so. You can ask me anything. I'll be truthful with you.
I think I want to stay with the day 9/11.
Okay.
Do you think it's more meaningful to you than other people?
No, I don't think so. No, and the reason why is because I'm only one person. It's the whole world out there, you know, amidst, you know, things happen. It's people that have family members that died, you know.
Who else should I talk to? Who in your life?
Who in my life you should talk to?
Yeah.
You should talk to my daughter. That's who you should talk to.
And may I contact you later for more information?
Sure.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.